Hello and welcome to Midlander Gaming and back to another unboxing. Here we have the commanders for the three factions, so the Prussian commander, the British and Allied commanders and the French commanders. I'm going to start with the Prussian, I think. Just get them in focus a little bit, get my reflection out. So we have the Prussian commanders, I can just about make them out. And looking on the back, so we can see this contains Perch the First, von Zieten, von Bulow, Gneisenau and Blucher. 5 figures in Warlord resin. Okay, let's open it up and take a look. Again, this isn't my kit, so I'll just be careful with the packaging. Now, let's have a look what we have. Okay. Comes in a nice little blister pack. Now we can see this particular one was packed by Marcus. And I'll move them to the side and I'll show them individually. So there we go. Let me have a look and see which one this is. So I believe this one's von Zieten. Get some better lighting on that. Okay, let's have a look, see if we can get some better lighting now. There we go. So I must say the sculpt looks very good. No, resin's always a bit tricky, but virtually no flash whatsoever. Nice crisp details. And the next guy we've got is, I think this is Perch the First. Again, very crisp details, very little flash. And then we have Gneisenau. You can quite clearly see him carrying is that a baton or a roll of paper? Again, should paint up very, very good. Details are extremely clear. This is von Bulow. A little bit of flash on the feet, which is to be expected just to join it with a base. And finally, Blucher himself. See his moustache there quite clearly. Chris will have fun painting him, I'm sure. There we go. All very crisp, clean sculpts, which is what you like to see with resin. So let's open up the French commanders. We look on the back, so we've got Kellerman, D'Erlon, Cuirassier Commander, Marshal Ney and Bonaparte himself. Ooh. There we go. Very tight to get into these. Because it keeps them secure. Rodica for these. Thank you, Rodica. Right, so let's have a look. So this is Kellerman. Again, just a little bit of flash on the hooves that are lifted, which is understandable. Looks a little bit of flash underneath the just underneath the bridle, the reins. But overall, very crisp and clean again. Probably a bit more on this than the others. Next one we have is Deerlon. Again, a bit of flash on the bum of the horse. A bit round the mane and the rear. And the detail's still crisp. Just a slightly bit more cleaning up to do on these ones than the Prussian ones, I think. But it is only very slight. And then we have just the generic Commander. Again, we can see a little bit of flash down here, on here and on the back of the man. But details all seem crisp and clear still. Marshal Ney. This one looks pretty good. I think there's a little bit of flash on this one, but I think this one's probably one of the better ones out of the pack overall. Again, none of them are bad. They're probably just not quite as crisp. Well, the detail's crisp, but probably just slightly more flash than the Prussians. And then Bonaparte himself. Again, not too much on Bonaparte. And all the detail looks good. So there we go. And finally, the British and Allied commanders. So here we have just a generic commander again. Picton, Uxbridge, Prince William of Orange and Wellington. So packed by, oh man, Alicia, probably butchered that. Very tight blisters, trying to open them without knocking the camera over, it's a bit tricky. Not much to grab hold of. Oh, 1 sec. That's better. I can do it close to myself so much better. So let's have a look what we've got here. So first one is, oh, I'm looking at the wrong box. There we go. So the first one is Wellington himself. Looks good, detail looks crisp, not too much flash. Yeah, that looks good. And then we have the generic commander. A little bit of flash underneath, but not too much. All details look good though. And then we have probably my favourite guy, Picton. Know nothing about him, I just love the fact that he's in civilian clothing, top hat. Is that an umbrella, I think? It's even better. I hope he gets some rules, or if there are some rules for him already, if maybe they're in a community, Warlord community article or something, let me know, because this is the guy I'd really want to use. Looks good. There's a little bit of flash just around here, I think, but should be able to clean it up pretty good. And then we have Prince William of Orange. Again, very little flash, not much on this. Details once again are all very, very crisp. For such tiny figures, the details, the sculpts, both the casting process, the sculpt itself, and how they've came out is very high quality. Very impressive. And finally, this is the generic, no, wrong one, this is Uxbridge, sorry. So a bit of a bendy sword there. I think it is meant to be curved a little bit anyway, but I think that's slightly over curved. And he's got a feather on his hat, but a bit of flash on that, needs tidying up. Not too bad. Lots of detail on there again. So this should paint up really nicely with the contrasts. There's a lot of detail to put the contrast to do the work on. Okay, and that's it. That's all 3 commanders. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll get some more out soon.